Alright, so this is the homework from last night. I saw a lot of problems. If you look on your OneNote, you will see I've made some marked remarks on you guys. This is stuff you have to be able to do. Alright, so I'm going to show you this, and that's why I'm doing the video for it. Alright, so number one, we have the square root of 18. Again, 18 is not a perfect square. It's not on our perfect square table. So we take half of it. Half of 18 is 9. 9 is a perfect square. So we're going to change this into 9 times 2. Remember, I'm not changing this number. 18 is the same as 9 times 2. All right, I just need to write its perfect square. Now, I break it up. I make it the square root of 9 times square root of 2. The square root of 9 I can do. That is 3. So I get 3 root 2. So that's number 1. All right, number 2, or number 4 in this case. All right, we have the square root of 98. Again, 98 is not one of our perfect squares, so we take half of it. Well, half of it is 49, and 49 is one of our perfect squares. So we're going to change this into 49 times 2. Again, I'm not changing the number. 98 is the same as 49 times 2. All right, now I break this up. I make this root 49 times root 2, and then the square root of 49 is 7. Notice there's no square root anymore, and I can't do anything with root 2, so I just leave it as root 2. So I get my answer, 7 root 2. All right, number 7. All right, number 7, we have the square root of 25 over 16. Now, again, what I told you to do is look to see if you have a perfect square in the bottom. If you do, then just break it up. So we're going to break it up, make it the square root of 25 over the square root of 16. Now we can do both of these. The square root of 25 is 5 because 25 is a perfect square. Square root of 16 is 4. So we get our answer 5 over 4. All right, then number 10. We have root 27 over 1. Well, the easy way to do this problem is to say, well, 27 over 1 is just 27. So this is the same as root 27. All right, 27 is not a perfect square. All right, so we take half of it. Half of it is 13.5. So I only got to check the ones under 13.5. Well, the only perfect squares that are less than the first one is 9, and 9 does go evenly into 27. 9 times 3, so we're going to use that. So again, I'm rewriting the 27 as 9 times 3. All right, and then I break it up. Square root of 9, square root of 3. Square root of 9 is 3, so I get 3 root 3. And that is my answer. All right, on the homework, I noticed a couple of you were having problems with 13 through 25, but the problem is you're forgetting your plus or minus. All right, so number 13 is going to look like this. X squared equals 16. X is by itself, so I'm going to get rid of the square. So I square root, and I have to put plus or minus. Don't forget the plus or minus. So now, the square and the square root cancel each other out. It leaves me with x equals, bring down your plus or minus. Square root of 16 is 4. So I get x equals plus or minus 4. All right, number 16. X squared minus 4 equals 0. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Remember, act like it just x minus 4. So you solve it just like you would. All right, so x squared equals 4. The only new step here, we're going to get rid of the square by square rooting and put plus or minus. Don't forget that. So the square is undone by square root, so I just get x equals, bring down your plus or minus, square root of 4 is 2. So for 16, you should have had x equals plus or minus 2. All right, 19. I have 2x squared equals 32. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to act like this just says 2x equals 32. We're multiplying by 2, so we got to divide by 2. And I get x squared equals 16. All right, now we get rid of the square by square root plus minus. They cancel each other out, so it leaves me with x equals plus or minus square root of 16 is 4, and that is my answer. All right. Now, number 22. I have x squared plus 12 equals 13. I subtract 12. I get x squared equals 1. Now get rid of the square root, or the square by square rooting, and plus minus, so they cancel each other out. X equals plus or minus square root of 1 is just 1. So I get x equals plus or minus 1. And then the last one, 25, I got 2x squared minus 1 equals 7. So again, act like it doesn't have a square and we're just solving this. So we would add 1. 2x squared equals 8. Then we would divide by 2 and get x squared equals 4. All right. Once we have that, now we got the x squared by itself. Now we get rid of the square by square rooting, and plus minus. So now I get x equals plus or minus 2, and that is our answer. So that was the homework.